What's up, Starcraft fans? You are watching a co-op Mutation. I am CTG and we are doing Retribution on Missed Opportunities. I played as Zeratul, who is once again not that great of a commander for this one. Let's go to the replay. My ally, Iswald, chose a commander who is good for this mutation, Abathur. But before we begin, a huge thank you to Zachary, who is supporting me on the Immobilization Wave tier. Thank you to Neometal, who is supporting me on the Pulse Cannon tier. And thank you to all my supporters on Patreon. So as you may know, we have two mutators here. Just Void Rifts and Double-Edged. The Void Rifts once again spawn all over the map every 90 seconds, starting from 2 minutes and 20 seconds. And these Void Rifts spawn enemy units every few seconds. So, unless we take them out immediately, they will keep spawning units and eventually they will overwhelm us unless we get a combo of Carax and Swan or something. Double-Edged, on the other hand, will mean that our units receive the damage that they deal. For example, Zeratul's 100 damage slash will deal 100 damage to the enemy, but it will also deal 100 damage to him. That is how this mutator works. Which means Zeratul's hard-hitting units are not that great for this one. And when Zeratul's units are not good, it's time to go for static defense. That's right, you've been asking for it for a while now, so it's time to cannon it up. To cannon it up is what I meant to say. I also went for the Zeratul Legion because I wanted to save it. The Zoraya Legion and the Telbrus Legion are hard-hitting cooldowns or top bar abilities. And the Zeratul Legion, on the other hand, mind controls units, so it's more units and less damage output. So it is actually better to go for the Zeratul Legion this time. My gateway is finished, so I opted to build my cybernetics core out here. It doesn't really matter where I build my cybernetics core, or my core forge rather, as long as I don't lose it. First wave is gonna arrive through here, but as you can see, my ally has already laid out a bunch of toxic nests. Alright, so I use a Zeratul Legion to take out this Void Rift. It's actually nice, interesting. If you look at this, into the Void Rift, it's a bunch of stars, I think, on the other side. Very interesting. So, my units deal a lot of damage, and if I set a single ambusher to attack my rocks, they will actually deal so much damage that they will kill themselves trying to break the rocks. So what I did, since I'm going for cannons, I'm not gonna take up much supply. What I did is just build my nexus to the side. I build my nexus to the side of the rocks. I don't intend to break the rocks. I just intend to saturate and long distance mine. That is the plan, the evil plan. For money. Things I do for money.
Allied forces are under attack.
And the gas is not important since I will go for static defense, which means I won't need a lot of gas to begin with.
My blades are ready once more.
So I know where that is. I actually know where that is. My ally even has toxic nests there. Yeah, it's on the ramp.
My bots are under attack. My bots are under attack.
Calm down, Stepman. Let me just get this thing pushed.
The fragment is mine.
Destroy that.
Just a party now. It's
Destroy that.
automated, so all you have to do is keep it alive. Yes, it's alive. It's alive.
My ally is getting the incubation chamber since he wants lots of queens. So for the first artifact power or artifact ability, I took the Tesseract Monolith since I'm going for a static defense strategy.
What a bunch of jerks.
Which means monoliths will be great for stunning the enemy
My bots
and in
are taking
turn
damage.
prevent
Terrible
them from doing more damage to my dudes. There we go, I kill off that Void Rift. It's important to manage Void Rifts, make sure they don't spawn a lot of units, and you take them out as soon as you can.
Allied forces are allied base is under attack. Our warriors are under attack.
Alright, Zeratul is finished cleaning up that base. I'm still saturated with probes, by the way. I'm making more and more probes and rallying them to this location. So even though I don't have a close nexus, I can still have technically full utilization of the mineral patches by having more than 3 on each. It's not that big of a deal for me in particular in this game, because I'm not going for units, so there's nothing else for me to use supply on. Interesting use of interesting thing about Zeratul. I noticed just by watching this replay. Remember, double-edged makes the units receive the damage they deal, but whenever I do the shadow cleave, it seems that Zeratul doesn't. The damage does not reflect upon Zeratul, or does not reflect back to Zeratul. Interesting thing here. Yeah, you can use shadow cleave to deal damage that you don't receive in return. So that is an interesting option. I also realized after the game that I should have made more watchers, more observers, so I have better vision all around the map. But it was hectic enough as it is, and sometimes things just don't click for me immediately. I was trying to find where that is. It was somewhere around here. Yeah, there it is.
I think the bots are telling me they're rolling out, but I could be wrong. They've lied to me before. Those little miscreants.
So I select the Tesseract Matrix, which decreases the cooldown of the projection by 50% and increases the damage absorbed by the shade barrier by 100%, so it makes them doubly effective versus double-edged. It's like single-edged or something. Alright, here comes an attack wave. You can see I use Shadow Cleave, but it doesn't reflect upon Zeratul. If it did, that probably would have killed Zeratul immediately. That's something. So I make a bunch of cannons here to help defend my allies' base, but I will need to go over here to finish off this Void Rift. I use the Zeratul Legion to defend that bot from the Reapers. As you can see, I'm just trying to macro the cannons as well as I can. What I noticed about the cannon strategy for Zeratul is that it's similar to mass bunkers as Stukov. Most people think it's like playing as Karax, but the thing with Karax is once the cannons are there, you can't move them. For example, if you're Karax and you build cannons here, after this particular set of bots, you'll never have another use for them. They're basically useless until the 4th wave or the 4th set of bots, and after that they're completely useless since no wave spawned there. But with Zeratul's cannons, they're just projections. These are free, and they can spawn. They can keep spawning wherever you need them. So even though I build them here, I just farm them here. I project them all around the map, which means I essentially send free static defense, quote unquote free static defense, for offense. So yeah, this is why I think Zeratul's cannon style plays more like Stukov than it does Karax, which is interesting, since Zeratul players will have another option if they don't want to lag like Stukov, but they still want the advantages of having free units. It's going to be useful in some mutations like this one. Of course, cannons are still not as strong as mass infested bunkers as Stukov, but it does provide at least an option. And with the Zeratul Legion, I can steal the hard-hitting units from the enemy. Oh, by the way, for those who still don't know, the Zeratul Legion automatically steals all units that cost at least 3 supply. So if it's 3 supply or more, the Zeratul Legion will automatically steal them. But if it's 2 supply or less, the Zeratul Legion will just attack them. They will just auto attack them, so they won't steal them, and you can't control them manually. The ally has gone for mass queens with some mutalisks. So that's a good option actually. So I use cannons to try and take out these void rifts as well as defend. You can see I'm just projecting them. And I go for more cannons. I just shift Q them to spawn, keep spawning them. So I use the Avatar of Essence to demote the enemies and make them easier to kill. And the less HP they have, the less damage our units will take to kill them. There it is. So I use a Zeratul Legion here. I steal a Warhound.
Can't you keep a hold of aggro? What's that noise?
So we lost a bot. We weren't able to go here. I think we were trying to be too fancy, trying to take out those dudes in advance. But yeah, this is really not easy, especially with Reaper Liberator. Annoying thing here. It's refusing to mind control that battlecruiser. It might be a bug, but I think they're refusing to mind control battlecruisers or something for this map, or maybe they're out of energy or something, or maybe it's on cooldown. But I don't know. They're not mind controlling the battlecruisers. Maybe it's just bad luck or something. Anyway, the key with Zeratul. If you've played Stukov Mass Bunkers, you know that the thing you have to watch out. The thing you have to watch for is to constantly macro up your bunkers. With Zeratul, you have to constantly macro up your cannons. Make sure your mineral count doesn't get too high. I mean, it does get too high since you have to rapid fire them on the map. But you get the idea. You just have to keep spending your money in order to get more cannons, essentially. So I use a Zeratul Legion to steal some of these dudes. Even if the dudes I steal don't deal that much damage, the nice thing about it is that at least I won't have to kill them, and I won't have to deal damage to my own dudes trying to kill them. I think the mind control is a short range. This floor should have been mine. Look at that. It might have a short range or a long cooldown. I don't know which. Could be both. Yeah, see, there might be a cooldown thing. That's a bit of a shame. So try to take out this void rift, sending my dudes there. Looks like Abathur's Locust was able to take it out, which is nice.
The geysers are returning as
So I select the probe, our precursor, and I spam more cannons. More cannons! In order to use up my minerals. I have to be efficient with placing them so that I have more space or more cannons to put down. Okay, so now I go for the offense. And I spam these cannons. There it is. Look at that. Looks like even the projections have the shield thing, which is awesome.
Allied forces are under attack.
So I move Zeratul here in order to take out this void rift. Down it goes.
Our base is under
I
attack.
think the ally stole that because his symbiotes are an extra attack. Lost that moment, what a shame. Anyway, I steal that immortal. That's nice.
Belchier laughs every time I tell it.
So once again, the Zeratul Legion and all the other legions don't have, or you can't control them. They're uncontrollable, or well, not really uncontrollable. You can't directly command them. What you do is just waypoint them, similar to Stukov's bunkers. Which again, to my point, this style plays more like Stukov, and I'm well aware of how to play Stukov, seeing as I've used him in several mutations, many mutations even. Now some cannons here, just to help damage out, or just to get more damage output. Demote those dudes to make it easier to kill. And again, it's a way to fight double-edged. You just demote the enemies to make them easier to kill. And make even more cannons.
Allied forces are under attack.
There we go. Get more cannons. Now, Reapers and Marauders aren't the best units for cannons to fight. However, it's still all we have. Plus, they're free cannons, so it doesn't really matter that we lose them. As long as we're able to have them up whenever we need them. To destroy this Void Rift, and then they take care of these. Of course, my ally is gonna walk in front and steal my kills, make all these cannons behind useless.
Base is under attack.
Because that's what allies do. Kill this Void Rift.
Allied forces are under attack.
Okay, spam more cannons there. Some of them will be taken out, but not before they're able to activate and destroy these dudes.
Must defend.
Alright,
Cluster.
more cannons. More monoliths. There it is. They clean those up. Nice. Very nice.
Belshire glider is almost dead, commanders. It's now or never.
Ally trying to squeeze through with his
2 to
fat
1.
queens.
Allied forces are
Fat
under
bottom
attack.
queens.
The bots are back in town. The bots are back in town.
Trying to send my dudes here. Of course, they're still trying to take out that Void Rift. Make some cannons here. Take out the enemy. There we go. Use that spin again.
Our base is under attack. Allied forces are under
It's funny.
attack.
It's funny that Zeratul is so buggy.
Allied
I
forces
think
are under
they still
attack.
haven't patched the bunker thing with Zeratul, and I'm completely fine with that. I'm sure most people are. I'm sure most people are as well. More options is always
Well, that's
nicer.
one dead whale. It's
And if they're
probably
not fine with it,
endangered,
just
you
not
know?
use it. You know.
That's a good
All right.
bot. Look at-
Yeah, this is where the Zelnaga Watchers would have been useful. They cost gas, and I do have a lot of gas.
Terrazine, and it's all mine. I need just a tiny bit more, commanders.
Rip Zeratul again. But I am taking out this Void Rift. I just need to keep making these cannons. Take out the Void Rifts. More.
Allied forces are
More
under
over
attack.
here. There we
These
go.
should be the last of the geysers.
Yeah, put some there.
Things are
Not too
just
many.
getting interesting.
Just enough to take out the Void Rift. Actually, even that was slightly too many. I think you only need 3 to take out a Void Rift. As soon as you catch it immediately and it doesn't spawn units, you only need 3. Or 4. If you would be safe, go with 4. Still spamming cannons. I wonder how many cannons I have at the end.
Is over.
I'm at 63. I assume the 3 cannons are the cannons, and the 12, 11. Yeah, those are the projections. It's funny. 6 monoliths and 63 cannons. Seems legit. Alright, so we're well set up now. If I multiply 64 by 250, let me open up my spreadsheet.
In a case with a box of scraps.
64
So
by
I'd appreciate it if
250.
they came back intact.
That's 16,000 minerals sunk into static defense. Which is funny. So I used to say, oh, they do mind control battle cruisers. It's just, I guess it's just a really long cooldown.
Forces headed for my bots.
But yeah, look at those units I stole.
Terrazine.
They're mowing down the enemy, cleaning house, so to speak. And of course, I use the Avatar of Essence after stealing the high-end units, so I'll have an easier time killing the rest. Of course, I need to run Zeratul back because he's a melee unit, so he runs forward very quickly. Put down some cannons here. Another demotion. Okay, now that the stolen units and the Tesseract Legion are gone, I need to actually get back since I don't have that pushing power anymore. I will go in once again when the Tesseract Legion is up. However, I need to kill these Void Rifts and defend the bots. There we go. Yeah, just have dudes out there defending the waves. There it is. Abathar is actually the better commander for this. because his queens have sustained healing, as well as the Yamato does deal damage back to the battle cruiser. That's funny. I use Zeratul Legion
Our base is under
and
attack.
try to steal the enemy units. Well, battle cruiser, that's a shame. I wanted that. Oh well, let's get 3 cannons there.
And the race is on.
Yeah,
Which
get some
buck
more
will make
dudes
it
here.
back to me first?
Get all the dudes here.
Barry.
Get all the cannons here.
Oil.
Attack! Get all the things! Yes, stun them! Stun them and kill them! Uh oh. Need more cannons here. It's really nice having 78 cannons.
Allied forces are under attack.
78 cannons! That's insane. Alright. Looks like I'm about to make more.
Our base is under attack.
Foes are closing in on our base.
There's the last wave. Oh, that's a lot of stuff.
Your blade.
Let's push our cannons forward.
These guys are
Throw everything we have
smashed to pieces.
at the enemy.
I really don't want to pick up after
All we
them.
need to do is let one survive, or let both survive. Yeah, we lost one earlier,
Our base is under
so we can't
attack.
afford to lose any more. But we do have cannons for days.
Our base
Well, not
is
really
under
days, but
attack.
you get the idea. Maybe dead of night days. But yeah, there's so many cannons right now. All we have to do is project them in time.
Our base is under attack.
Looks like my ally thinks we've won this game, and I have to agree with him.
Under attack.
GG. Use a Zeratul Legion once again, and I do take control of one battle cruiser, but it does so much damage that it's gonna kill itself. But the nice thing is that at least I did have to kill that battle cruiser. And it helped deal damage, and it helped share the damage output for me. You can see him just spamming cannons all over.
I am ready to stand beside
Got a monolith and more cannons. Alright,
Our base
cleaning
is under
house.
attack.
Yes!
There it
I can
is.
finally finish this research and get off this godforsaken rock.
Yeah, Abathur's pretty good for this. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. If you have an idea for what else I can do, please leave that in a comment. And as you can see in the score screen, we had about even kills. The difference was about 17? 17 kills, which is not that many. Yeah, it's not that many. So we did about even. We did about pretty even. And if you're gonna play as Abathur, use your Brutalisks. Rush out your first 3 Brutalisks. They are gonna be important for sniping Voidrets, since their symbiotes deal tons of damage, and they get the symbiote shield. So yes, do rush out your Brutalisks as Abathur and snipe the Voidrets, as my ally was doing. Also, getting a lot of queens is a good idea, but personally I would go for Swarm Hosts, since the Swarm Hosts don't deal damage to themselves. The Locusts do, but at least you get the Swarm Hosts free of damage. So you lose Locusts, which are free units anyway, and you can respawn them for more damage. For Zeratul, I do recommend mass cannons. What I would recommend differently from what I did is to get more watchers, more observers, so you can have more vision to warp in or to project your cannons, your Tesseract Cannons. Alright, see you.